Oh, good.
Okay, we're live, ladies.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. So that's just one thing that we could maybe talk about if you want to. And 200 of those, thanks to First Things First, are going to be for preschool. So one of the comments we've received is like the backpack supplies are. We try to be versatile, so it's like whatever
so you're
anyone
need
can
some
use.
specific.
Yeah, and it's because of finance, but also because imagine how long it would take to sort through like, hey, what grade are you in? Here's it.
Yeah,
And then we
exactly.
run out of some. It's just really hard to estimate. But we have 200 of them that are for preschool, just because it's a younger group.
No worries.
Good morning, Jean and Darren. See you soon. Echo. Morning, Daniel and Mark. Hello, Dad.
Hi, Ace. He watches every morning.
It takes a minute for me to find his profile picture. When it pops up in the little who's watching,
Yeah.
he changed it. So I'm like, oh.
Morning, Daniel.
Hi, Jaylee. That's my niece.
Is she on?
She's probably sitting next to my dad on her phone.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
I see people.
Darren, maybe.
I don't know. Ready?
Welcome to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer Blackwell.
And I'm Teresa Straub.
We are here live on Z93, Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com, and the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed. And I think we had an anniversary yesterday and forgot about it.
We did. We want to say good morning real quick to all of our Facebook Live viewers. And yes, we had an anniversary. Actually, it was the day before yesterday.
Day before?
It was the 5th, and we were busy having fun, and we didn't even realize it.
It was a year ago that we started simulcasting our show on both stations, both Z93 and Outlaw Country. We've been around on Outlaw since January of 2017, but we kicked off on Z93 June of last year.
Yeah, we did. And it's been a lot of fun. I have to thank all of our listeners and our Facebook Live viewers for all of the interaction. We love it every morning. And thank you for listening. It's something that Jennifer and I really like to do. And we hope that we're able to bring a little sunshine to your morning every day.
And if you can't tell that we do enjoy it, then maybe we're not doing something right.
I know, right? we tend to have a lot of fun. And you get a behind the scenes when you watch it on Facebook Live. So.
Just that extra perk.
Exactly.
Now, coming up on the show today, we have a couple different guests. Lucy Valencia will be joining us from the City of Yuma. We know school barely got out for the summer, but we're going to be talking back to school rodeo.
Exactly.
Because they're preparing and they're looking for something ahead of time. And then we also have Dr. Hogue and Dr. Galarza from Yuma Regional Medical Center. We're going to be talking about how to have fun safely in the summer.
I like that.
Give you some of the official information on hydration and protecting yourself.
Very important.
All right, are we going to join Lucy right now?
We can do that if you'd like.
She's a busy lady. Thank you for coming in, Lucy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to stick around to talk to you guys this morning.
Well, the back to school rodeo is coming up, and what are you looking for?
So the Back to School Rodeo, for anyone who might not know, it's an event that we host once a year in the summer. And I know, like you guys said, it feels like school just let out, or it's about to wrap up, and we're already thinking about going back to school. But what it really aims to do is to provide families of students between preschool and 8th grade. It's a pretty wide age span, but to make sure that they know what tools they need, that they feel supported, that students have the right supplies to go back to school. I know that sounds like a big undertaking, but the Back to School Rodeo really tries to gather all of the community resources that exist, not only like information on academics, but also focusing on everything regarding a child's development as they go back to school. So it can be like health, like vision screenings, oral, dental exams, to finding out more about programs that can support kids who need maybe additional tutoring, or programs to help with extracurricular activities and skills that they want to develop. And we gather all of these different community resources at the Civic Center for a one-day event, or it's actually a morning of an event. It goes from 8 a.m. to noon, and this year it's going to be on July 21st. So if you guys want to mark your calendars, it's coming up. But basically, we help to kind of gather all that so people can come learn all about what they can do pertaining to their child's academic development. And also we give away some freebies. So each year we've given away 1,000 free backpacks filled with school supplies. This year we're doing 1,400. So we're trying to amp it up.
Yeah, that's a nice jump.
Yeah.
Well, the demand is there.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
this, even though it's in July, it's a way for one to cool off for a little bit, and it's a way to get all, like you said, have all of those resources in one place. And you guys do a really good job of making it fun, and
Thank you.
Like you said, it's growing.
Yeah.
So you have upped the amount of backpacks to 1,400 this year.
1,400, yeah. And I think, to some of the things that we have to consider is working for the City of Yuma. I love this event because every year we run out of them so fast. So you see not only the gratitude, but on the other side of it, you do see that there's still a need. So we are happy to be able to work with community partners who sponsor the event, because that is the other factor that you have to consider as a local government. We can't be spending on putting this on. We really use sponsorships, people who donate either their time or prizes to give away or books or school supplies to help put this on for to fill that need. But we are looking for more sponsors just because it does keep growing. I think this is the 7th back to school rodeo. It's the 4th or 5th that I've helped put on, and every year you see more and more kids, and we want to be able to try to at least get to everybody. I know that we never do. The backpacks run out really fast, but if we're able to get maybe a little bit of more support from sponsors, that'll definitely help us to be able to cover those costs. But our sponsors are great. We have First Things First, KYMA helps us. We have APS, Simpatico, tons of others. I know I'm forgetting some, but you will be hearing more and more about them as the back to school rodeo kind of comes to take shape. But really, they are the ones who are kind of the backbone or the support with which we're able to do this. So we are looking for more. If you don't want to donate financially, you can donate school supplies. You can help us by donating whatever it is that you might have to help kids in preschool through 8th grade. I think it'll be a huge help. But
And Stephanie just asked, she said, how can we help just as everyday community advocates? So this would be one way, while people might not be able to do a large monetary donation or contribution to help.
Yeah.
When you see school supplies on sale, grab a few extra.
And school supplies, I know it's still summer and you're still seeing a lot of summer stuff, but I'm starting to see the
They're
school
starting to come
supplies
out.
come out.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the school year, in the report card, you get the school list for next year, which is
Totally.
great because it gives you time to actually prepare and get those things together, not just having to rush that last minute. But grab a couple of extra things. And I know that you mentioned that your 200 of those backpacks are going to go straight to the preschoolers themselves. So that
Right. So this is a new thing. After each back to school rodeo, we try to get feedback from the public and the people involved, so like the organizations who help us out, some of the vendors, some of the booth sponsors, and then just different community stakeholders to see how they felt the back to school rodeo went, maybe things we could improve upon. And a lot of times we've gotten comments on the backpacks. They've said, well, the backpacks have just as an example, a pencil sharpener, notebooks, writing,
all those type of things.
But then they say, well, what about my preschooler? How is this gonna? So we've tried to address it, but again, it's just tough. I can honestly tell you that in 2 hours before the event starts, the line for the free backpack is already outside and around the corner. So this year, thanks to First Things First, we're going to do 200 backpacks that are allocated specifically for those little ones. So for pre-K. So the school supplies are going to be a little bit different. But if you want to go, we simply do it on a first come first served basis. Hence the reason that line builds up pretty quick.
And it builds up quickly, but it moves quickly too.
Exactly.
Now, Stephanie says, can you get a list of particular brands together? I don't know that it's so much brands, but it's specific products.
For Stephanie's question, Stephanie, what I would do is maybe call us. You can call myself at 373-5016. That's my direct line. And Carrie Ring, she's a marketing specialist for the
Carrie's
City
watching
of Yuma.
right now.
Carrie, she's helping to put this on too. She's the lead on this. She plans it, coordinates it, everything. She can help you kind of figure out some of the best needs for us moving forward. And her number is 373-5020. And if you'd like just general information on the Back to School Rodeo, you can head to yumaaz.gov. We have a press release on there about the sponsorships, and we actually have like everything you need on that homepage.
And if somebody, is able to maybe pick up a few extra things and like to donate them to you guys, can they just give you a call or just drop them by the
I
city?
would suggest that. Yeah, we can. I know we can always find something to do with it. We do raffle prizes too.
Great.
Hopefully like educationally based, but we've raffled off things like bicycles before for healthy activity. You know?
And sometimes it's a necessity for a child to get to school that way.
So if you have like extra supplies or something and you want to bring them to us, we could even raffle them off and give it away on the stage. So definitely get in touch with myself or Carrie and we can help you. But we really do appreciate everything. I think it's one more thing that you can rest assured will go back to kids.
Yeah.
Well, what is cool about this too is we mentioned, okay, maybe someone's not able to make a big financial contribution. They say, okay, I have $5, but I don't feel like that can do much. When these sales start going on, you can get a bottle of glue for 20 cents.
Oh, yeah.
A pair of scissors for 50 cents. So you can
So you
still
can almost fill that whole backpack for the $5.
And that's, it's been a long time since my son needed any of those supplies that pretty much didn't involve a laptop. That's pretty much all he needed once he hit high school, that and some large binders. But I couldn't pass up on these great deals. And knowing that it could go back and help kids in our community, and it all stays right here.
Exactly.
I love it that you guys have done this for several years now. And, we also have the foundation of YRMC that does the backpack drive.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah,
like, I see what they do, and it's like, if you aren't able to help Back to School Rodeo, I'm so glad we live in a community where there's multiple efforts. Like, the Stuff the Bus, I believe, is coming up. That's the YRMC Foundation-led effort. And that's also another thing you can get involved with. I know Somerton now has a similar event around the same time. I'm not exactly sure when.
It's so awesome, if you can't make one or you're if you happen to get there a little late and you're not able to make the one, there's still other opportunities.
We aren't the only ones.
These children are our future, and we want to start them off on the right foot. And there might be situations you're just not quite sure what it is, and you don't know what anyone's going through at any moment.
Exactly.
But there are struggles, and one of the hardest things for a parent to have to be able to do is not be able to provide those essentials for their children.
Right.
And if there are resources out there like the Back to School Rodeo, it's a great way to help ease a little bit of that burden on them. And I know it's not every supply that they need, because
but it's something.
We've talked about the list of school supplies that often get sent home, but it puts a little dent in it and will help out.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything that we can do to kind of help alleviate it. So if you're interested, just get in touch with us. And if you don't want to call, you can Facebook message us. You can, whatever you've got to do to talk to us, we'll be there to kind of help you out with Back to School Rodeo stuff. But again, it's July 21, so it's on a Saturday at the Yuma Civic Center from 8 a.m. to noon. And again, the free backpack feature, it's first come, first serve, and child must be present.
Yeah. Just
because we have had people who try to pick up for kids that aren't there, and we just want to make sure that the
it's
child
fair.
is getting
it's fair.
It's legit.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's really fun. We'll have a lot of...
And while it is July, while we're thinking, okay, July 21st, we're still in the middle of summer, school actually might start 2.5 weeks after that.
Exactly.
Because school's starting and, August 10th-ish, I'm guessing. That's where it's been the last several years anyway. So that's not too long after July 21st. So
yeah, totally.
It's a good way to get everything ready.
Some of the booth vendors, they'll even have stuff for like the summer hours, like, info on swim lessons or info on karate and dance groups. And then on the educational side, I know we have organizations that are committed to mental health or child, brain development, and different books that they can read during the summer to help them kind of stay on track. So there's just tons to do, such a big variety.
All right, so you're either looking for sponsors of the event, but are you also looking for additional booths at the event too, or is that full?
The booths are all booked, but one quick thing that if anyone listening wants to get involved, we do have one slot that opened up for performances. I know a lot of times we have like dance groups who perform, and usually it's stacked full. So if you do want to take part in that, we have a couple of dance groups who are showcasing just what their students do or what their participants do.
To keep the kids busy.
And it's so fun to watch. So you can get in touch with myself. I'm Lucy Valencia. And my phone number is 373-5016.
All All right. Well, thank you so much for sticking around. Lucy's here for
Yes.
City News Thursday on Outlaw Country.
She's had
on
a long morning
Thursdays.
already.
Yeah, it's been so fun.
All right, it's Today in Yuma. We are going to go ahead and take a break. We'll take our Lotus Day Spa and Salon selfie with Lucy out in the courtyard, and then we'll be back with Dr. Hogue and Dr. Galarza from YRMC talking about some summer safety tips on Today in Yuma. The show is brought to you by Classic Accounting. Dave and his crew have over 30 years of experience and knowledge, and you can trust them with your business payroll and monthly bookkeeping needs. That's Classic Accounting. Give them a call today at 343-1040.
And going on now at Sprague Sports, and this is only for, I believe, 1 or 2 more days. You want to take advantage of the pre-summer gun clearance sale. Plus, they all come with a lifetime warranty and a free indoor range pass. You can find them on 32nd Street next to Lowe's.
And tomorrow is Free Filter Friday. It's Thursday, right? Today's Thursday?
Yeah,
Yes.
Thursday.
Just checking. At Quick Refrigeration. And all you need to do is take in your old dirty air filter by 190 West 10th Street. They will swap it out and give you a brand new standard 1-inch air filter for free. That helps keep your system working a little bit better because it doesn't have to struggle to work as hard through that dirty filter. That's Quick Refrigeration.
And our friends over at Advocate Pest and Wildlife Specialists, they are locally owned and have been providing pest control services in the Yuma area for over 20 years. It's getting rather warm outside, so all of those creepy crawlers are starting to come out. If you have any ants, crickets, ticks, fleas, Advocate Pest and Wildlife Specialist is there to help. All you need to do is give them a call today at 928-343-9149. Better yet, go like them on Facebook. They have a contest ending today at 5 o'clock, but Sandra advised me there's more to come.
All right, it's Today in Yuma on Z93 Outlaw Country and the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed.
Sorry, I didn't turn around fast
No, that's
enough.
okay. I'm like, oh wait, no, she's in the other zone.
All right, let's take a selfie.
Yay. Okay.
Thank you, Lucy.
I'll see you Sunday, Lucy.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. And then we'll schedule regular.
Yeah.
We'll do yoga in the courtyard.
I always think
Oh, I'm going to show you.
I know yoga with
Have you seen
cats,
it?
but yoga with chickens.
I know. They've asked me to teach it a couple times, but I'm so allergic. I would.
Oh.
One that way. They're gonna come this way.
Hi.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Oh, great show, guys.
Thank you. She's coming.
I'll have to remember to pull up my picture from camp and show you the pictures where we did yoga at Payson.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
All right, let's take a picture.
Smile.
You're going to have to step back. You're starting to get shy.
Thank you. Thank you for sticking around too. Appreciate
Yeah, it
it.
was so fun. Bye. Good to see you. You too.
Or Pilates with puppies.
Pilates.
Yeah, I love that. I could definitely do that. For yoga.
I see.
But you can. I like it. It's just more of a it's more of a workout, I think.
It is more of a workout.
Yoga's
With lots and lots of repetition and Pilates.
But I love yoga.
Yeah.
You guys are early enough.
Okay.
All right.
See you guys later.
Thanks,
Thank you
Lucy.
for
I
coming.
appreciate it.
You need a
Yeah, it
bigger
was
bag.
really fun.
You need a bigger bag.
I know. Bye.
Bye, Luce. Thank you. Hi. How are you? Good. You too. Come on in. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Facebook Live, just a reminder there.
Long time no see. I feel like I don't see you enough.
Happy show anniversary.
Thank you.
Yes, we are. I am spoiled. Come on.
Hi, Cousin Debbie.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
Well. Doing
So
well.
the microphone's right on.
Oh,
up
yeah.
Right here. Yeah.
I love it.
Somebody does it.
Oh.
All right. Got about 40 seconds.
All right. And just so you know, because we're going to be speaking about the warm weather, we don't say the H word.
We don't.
No, if you say the H word, we have to put a quarter in, and then we buy water for our local charitable organizations.
Or should we?
You notice there's several dollars in there already.
But you can say warm.
Yes, you can get creative.
Swampy.
warm.
Yes, and it's warming up nicely today. I said that this morning, and Janice says, nicely, huh?
Yeah, nicely. Okay.
Too funny.
It creates optimism, or promotes optimism too,
Yes.
because we know it's going to be over 100 degrees.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
always
Hades' furnace in
enjoyable.
Yuma.
I love all the memes that come out.
I know. All right, we ready?
Yep.
How about caliente? Can we say that word?
Ooh.
No, it means the same thing.
I was just saying, Dr. Galarza
But
is
it's a
bilingual.
different word.
What?
Caliente.
Oh,
It's mucho caliente.
yeah. There you go.
Well,
Say that.
Mucho calor.
Mucho calor.
That's true, yeah.
It's diferente.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
We are here live on Z93, Outlaw Country, MonsterMediaYuma.com, and the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed. Good morning, Destiny and Matthew and Roberto. They've all joined the feed in the last few minutes.
Well, good morning to all of you.
Thank you all for sticking around with us. Now we are going to be talking about how to have fun safely in the summer, and we are fortunate this morning. We have Doctors Hogue and Dr. Galarza from Yuma Regional Medical Center here with us, and they would be the experts in this area.
I think so.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful morning. Thank you.
Now, Dr. Hogue, you've been on the show before.
Yes.
And you were here when we were talking about I believe you were graduating from the YRMC residency program.
That is true.
So obviously you've got your feet a little bit wet.
I have.
And Dr. Galarza, you're a native of Durango, Mexico.
Yes, and I came to Yuma 8 years ago this October when I married my husband, who's a wonderful human.
All right. So you're an honorary human by that.
Yes, and now that I have children that are human, I'm all in.
And you have 2 kids.
Yes.
So obviously the importance of summer safety just really, really rings true for you too. But we want to keep the entire community safe.
Perfect.
So we are going to be addressing a few things today. Let's talk about skincare with sun, because we are right here in the middle of it. One of the sunniest cities in the world.
I think that's a year-round thing in
That is true.
And sometimes people just figure summer, that's when I need sunscreen. But again, that's not the case.
No, especially here in Yuma. I mean, like you have mentioned, we have sun basically, I think, 350 days out of the year.
Yeah.
So it's always important to have sunscreen. And we were just talking about this on the way here, how important it is to people to realize that you have to put the sunscreen on before you actually are by the pool or before you go out. Not when you're by the pool and then you go in and it's all washed up. You have to do it 20 minutes max before going outside. So it really gives an opportunity to the sunscreen to set in and absorb and really do its work.
And then you have to reapply it. Some people figure, well, I still got burned. I was out there for 8 hours.
That is true. You actually need to reapply every 3 to 4 hours. And the best one to buy, you want to make sure that it blocks the AVB and AVA rays. So or UVB and UVA rays, excuse me, because the fact that both of them can burn the skin. And so some of them will only block like UVA and not UVB. And so it's important that you do both. So certain brands do both, which is very important. And then also the Sport, the one that says Sport on it actually is waterproof, and it actually lasts a little longer, especially when you're in the pool.
Okay. And I know some people have obsessed for years about the SPF. Does it really matter?
Well, yes and no. Because most people don't wear the sunscreen the proper way. So if you go a higher SPF, it does help. If you're not using it properly, like reapplying it and going in the water. So using a higher SPF does help a little bit more. But if you reapply it, it doesn't matter if it's 15, 20, 50, because you're using it correctly. So, like I said, it depends how you use it.
Well, I know it's pretty commonplace to find SPF 50 anymore. Anita found SPF 100. She
Yep.
has
Yes.
2 fair-skinned.
I have some white boy. Yeah, they're white.
So actually, if I could chime in on that part, because there was a study actually that came out, and we're all about studies and scientific data. The SPF above 50 to 60 actually showed no benefit at
Okay.
all. So anything above 50 to 60 SPF, you're not blocking any more rays. It does, it looks good. often, because we want to buy that extra
It makes
coverage.
you feel better.
It does make you feel better, and it's it's a marketing thing, and they also charge more for that.
Yes, they
so
do.
actually, you can get the cheaper, which is the SPF 50 to 60, and then you will have the same coverage.
Well, I know a lot of makeup comes with SPF built in too, because
Yeah.
women apply that. That's the first level or layer of foundation that they put on each day. So
But that's not necessarily enough. If you look at
No.
the SPF in it, it's sometimes like 10, maybe
Correct.
15,
It's not enough.
something, but I don't think it's
but
enough.
it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, hats are always a good route to use
Yes,
in
and
Yuma.
I love hats. Dan knows this. Seriously, like there's no better accessory, especially when you're going out to the river, to the pool. If you're going to the water park here locally, even outside. A hat is your best friend because let's be honest, as a woman, yes, you apply the makeup, but then you're not going to mess up your makeup and reapply sunblock.
Sunblock.
Let's be honest, let's be honest about it. So a hat is the perfect summer accessory.
Well, let's talk about the importance of hydration.
Yes.
Where's my water?
I didn't think you had one.
I have one on my desk next door.
Sure you do.
I hate water.
Okay.
I abhor water, but I drink it
She
begrudgingly.
forces herself to drink it.
Well, that's good because water is very important. And if you stay hydrated, actually it protects your skin as well, even when you're in the sun. So like if people that do not hydrate as well, they actually get burned quicker than those who don't.
Oh, okay.
Well, we've heard the misnomer for a long time because we interact with people frequently. Well, I was at the river and I was in the water, so I don't need to drink it.
Not necessarily.
It's not the same. You actually dehydrate also faster, and it's just the way the skin reacts to being in the water. It tries to equalize. It's all just chemistry involved and reactions and everything. But you actually dehydrate faster being inside of the water. If you don't keep hydrated. And it's not water just that you can keep hydrated because you do lose some minerals when you're sweating, like calcium, potassium. So you have to also replace those. The way to do it is drinking coconut water. Sports beverages are also a way to do it, but you do have to be careful with those if you're diabetic or hypertensive because they do have a high sugar and salt content.
So
And
mix it with the water too,
Yeah.
so that way, because
Yes,
it's not
do a
necessarily
balance.
going to be hydrated.
Well, and because some of the sports drinks do have the higher levels of sugar, the sugar and the caffeine and alcohol can also speed up your dehydration.
Agreed. And the thing too, a lot of people say, well, I drink Gatorade all day. Well, that's not always the answer either because too much salt and too much of the electrolytes that you're putting into your body can dehydrate you even more. So you have to be very careful. So like what I tell patients is basically take like 6 to 8 ounces of Gatorade a day, whether that's your G2 with low sugar or your regular Gatorade, depending on diabetes or what you may have in your gene pool. But and then replace water after that because that will hold on to the water a lot more into the body, and then it'll allow you to hydrate and stay hydrated longer.
How much water do you recommend? You hear so many different things. Some people are like, they carry around their gallon of water with them all day long. What is your recommendation for how much water you should actually be drinking?
So actually the studies say that you need at least 2 liters of water a day. Now we live in the desert, so we're really dry. So for some people that may not be enough, but 2 liters is actually a lot. So if you do 2 liters a day, I think you'll be fine. But you also have to take the precautions of staying out of the sun and make sure that you don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to dehydrate faster.
Now, when you start to feel thirsty, you're already on the way to dehydration. Is that
Agreed.
correct?
Yes. And that's one of the biggest myths or things, especially here when we see patients with heat stroke, it's that they're like, well, I never got thirsty, or by the time I got thirsty, I started hydrating, but it was not enough. And it's exactly because of that. As humans, we have one of the worst mechanisms to, for hydration. So we really have to stay on top of it, especially in the summer. We have to load up. There's no room for like, oh, I will drink water later on. Like, no, start in the morning, and that way you're not gulping down the 60 ounces of water by the end of the day and feel that it's such a, a burden to do it.
Like pain medication, you need to stay ahead of it. You don't want to
Yes,
get behind,
right.
otherwise it's
Exactly.
pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Well, they also say that if you do about 60 cc's, which is like 60 milliliters per hour, then you should meet your goal at the end of the day. And so,
Okay.
and that
In
slowly
normal
hydrates you.
people math. Correct. Normal people tell me.
So how many ounces?
So that so that would be about
60 milliliters would be, I don't know, 6 ounces.
Yeah, about six ounces
an hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
And then so if you do that, then you stay ahead of the curve. And therefore, you're always feeding your body water. Because think about it, how many times do we go into the bathroom a day?
Exactly.
So if you drink all your water at once, then you may expend it all at the same time. So we want to make sure that you space it out and you do it, every hour.
Nicole on Facebook Live, she says, what about drinking too much water?
So that is a problem as well. Actually, yeah, that is a problem as well. That's the reason why they come up with the 2 liters. Anything above that, and a lot of people say, well, I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. That may be a little too much because you can dilute your blood too much and your electrolytes too much in your body, and that causes a problem as well. So you have to find that balance, and that's why the studies say around 2 liters is about what we need a day.
But don't you think physical activity, it really depends. My husband worked outside for many years, and I'm not a sweater, so my body doesn't efficiently cool itself.
Right.
My husband is. And so he will lose moisture through his skin very rapidly, very, very rapidly. So his intake of fluid has to be higher to balance the loss, as well as because you're losing your potassium and the sodium within your as you're sweating.
Correct.
He had to be very conscientious of making sure he was putting in what he was sweating out.
That is true, and that's why the importance of the electrolyte replacement, because you are sweating out salt with the water that you sweat. And so therefore you're losing those electrolytes, and so salt is what holds on to the water inside the body, and so it's important for you to replace that. And so if you do replace that a little bit every day, then for those people who do sweat a lot, they work outside, things like that, it actually will hold on to the water a little bit more efficiently.
And you really have to get to know yourself. Like the 2 liters is a good place to start, but of course if you work out, if you you're doing some yard work, if you work outside, definitely you need more. 2 liters is the minimum. But if you're just inside, you have a desk job, 2 liters will probably be more than enough. So it's all about you, of course, personalize it. There's no better person that knows you than yourself. So just work around that start point and go from there. But always, if you're working outside and sweating a lot, do replace the electrolytes. I think that's one of the most important things that people often forget. To do the potassium, the calcium, and the sodium.
Yeah.
Clarissa says, good morning, Dr. Hogue and Dr. Galarza. It's Clarissa
morning.
and Carlo. So,
Good morning.
you know what? Let's take a quick break because then we'll come back because we have several other points that we want to address because people are, they're curious. We've had several comments, and I've got a private message here too with something to ask you guys. So we will be back after the break. The show is brought to you by Classic Accounting. They have over 30 years of experience and knowledge that helps benefit you in your business. You can trust Classic Accounting with your business payroll and monthly bookkeeping needs. Give them a call today at 343-1040.
And Sprague Sports. Sprague is one of the largest distributors of ammunition in Yuma. Get your Federal, Remington, and Winchester ammunition there. They also specialize in bird control ammo for agriculture-related purposes. You can find them on 32nd Street next to Lowe's.
And tomorrow is Friday. Not only Cat Shirt Friday, it is Free Filter Friday. That's a quick refrigeration, and if your air system has to work harder due to a clogged filter, it might lead to premature wear and tear. So tomorrow, take your old dirty air filter down to 190 West 10th Street. That's Quick Refrigeration. They will swap it out and give you a standard brand new 1-inch air filter for free. That's tomorrow, Quick Refrigeration.
And Yuma's best Advocate Pest and Wildlife Specialists. They are locally owned and have been providing pest control services in the Yuma area for over 20 years. The best way to get in touch with Advocate Pest and Wildlife Specialists is to follow them on all of their social medias. They have Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or you can always give them a call at 928-343-9149.
It's Today in Yuma. We'll be back after the break on Z93 Outlaw Country and the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed. Eric.
I know. He's texting me now.
He says,
Did anybody say the H word?
I don't know.
we should pick up on that.
I was trying to think about it. Like, no, don't say it.
And if not, our Facebook Live viewers are pretty good.
Oh,
at
yeah.
that.
Oh, they'll call you out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'll let us know.
Trust me. I
Eric
know.
likes supplementing water with gold beer.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
I think it's supposed to be
that is
cold.
the new thing.
With gold beer or with old beer?
Well,
Or
no,
cold.
Cold beer.
Okay, well, there is a new thing where it's like the gold Michelob that just
Okay.
came out. It's so
Oh, my husband is a fanatic of that thing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
so-
why?
that's so funny.
Because he's like, it's organic and only has 95 calories. And I'm like, who's paying you to say this?
It also tastes like water, though. Just
That's true.
I haven't tried it. It's not
Just
that
saying.
great. It's I'm more of a Stella or
Stella Artois.
Yeah, Stella.
Dude, you're good.
One of our uncles drinks that.
she doesn't know. She doesn't
I don't
drink
know.
at all.
I don't drink.
She has a great accent. See,
That's
you need
so
to do the voice work for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked for someone before, and he could butcher the most commonplace words, but he could rattle off names of wine.
Oh,
It
wow.
was the funniest
Priorities.
thing ever. Yeah.
You're like the most interesting woman. You can be the competition.
If anyone's looking, I'm available. Contact my agent.
Right.
Oh yeah, you're my agent.
By the way,
And you're hers. And
Goes both
Time
ways.
person.
teamwork.
So I had a rule of thumb as a scout leader when I would take my kids anywhere, and I would just say, there's different tests that we would do to show hydration for them. But I always said, if your urine's clear, you're in the
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah, exactly.
And okay, good. And I was
I
like,
just didn't want to say that on air because, like,
I think that's
I was like,
I
okay,
don't
maybe I
think
should go there.
I
Like,
don't think that's a negative thing because people are looking for what are simple ways to remember
Yeah.
that I'm hydrated.
oh, that's a good, yeah.
And that's a very simple way to know I am hydrated.
What was it? I'm sorry.
If your urine's clear, you're in the clear.
That's true. But if it's dark, the darker it gets, the
yeah.
more risk at
Yeah.
being.
Concentrated.
How about playing on your skin? I know that, like they say with cats.
Yeah,
pull on
you
their-
can
their
pull-
fur.
No, yeah,
Can't do
it's
that
called
with
a skin tugger. So,
Yeah.
like, you can,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
do
wow.
that. And if it's
See how it goes down
yeah, if it
quickly?
tense, if it stays up, then you're dehydrated. If it goes down, you're I'm well hydrated today.
Yes.
I was like,
That's a good indicator.
Yeah.
But I think those are good tools,
surprised.
and people need the pneumatic devices to remember
Right.
these are simple tools that are showing
No,
that I'm
she-
hydrated.
You should see her.
And I, like I said, being a scout
She
leader,
was
a mother of
gags
4
on
it.
boys, those are the things that I was very conscientious
gags
of,
on it.
especially being here in the
We're
desert.
coming back.
Yeah.
Here we go. Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
We still have guest Drs. Hogue and Dr. Galarza here in the studio, and we're talking about how to have fun safely in the summer, or just how to maneuver through a Yuma summer.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. So before break, they started talking about Anita had brought it up. You know, her husband works outside, as does mine, and we have a lot of people in the ag community that even though it's not ag season per se because of the winter vegetables, but there's melons, there's wheat. We still have products that are, that are coming through, and a lot of people that work outside. So why don't we give them some warning signs of maybe overheating, heat stroke, and things like that.
And that's perfect that you led in with that, because the message I received was, how do these poor agricultural workers handle things within the summer, because they have to be out there, and this ties in with that.
So I know that there are. The good thing now is that they do have scheduled breaks that they have to give them. They have to stay hydrated, especially the ones that we worry most of the time when August comes is for the date.
The date
workers,
harvesting.
because actually when you go inside the date fields, the humidity there is worse, so that actually dehydrates you faster. And we unfortunately have seen some cases where it goes just even beyond a heat stroke. So those people, is like we said, you have to stay hydrated. You have to load up on your electrolytes, your water, take scheduled breaks, wear the protective clothes, the hat, the big hats, the long sleeves. People think like, oh, it's going to get hotter if I'm wearing the long sleeve. It actually doesn't, because it keeps the moisture when you start sweating close to your skin. So it keeps you cool, especially if you're near a fan or something. Wear your sunglasses. All of that protective clothing will help you a lot.
I drove by an area coming in, and it's something I've seen relatively new in the last couple of years, because they're harvesting melons on Avenue B near County 14th right now.
Yes.
They have the trailers out in the field filled with covers. They have canopies
Yes.
on them, which I think would make a big difference when they're actually doing the assembly line portion right there. So in even a slight amount of shade like that will come in handy.
It does help,
Sure.
and good for these companies that have a step up to protect their workers, because that's the way they get the money in, so they have to protect their workers. Or good for them. But it's important for the workers to remember that there are rules in place, and they have to take advantage. If you're feeling bad, if you feel that it's time for a break, ask your supervisor for it. There's no point in holding those up.
You know, I give props to them though, because I've had situations in the past where, because I don't hydrate properly, or I think I'm okay, I'll be all right, I have suffered from heat exhaustion. And once you've been through that, it's really hard for you to endure the heat on a regular basis after that. I found that is a struggle that I encounter.
But I have to say, you've done a really good job, because you know when you're going to be outside, and you're like, okay, I'm going to be out there for a few hours or a couple of hours, and you
They will stay on me now.
choke that water down, because
Right.
it is. Once you have had that heat exhaustion, you're more susceptible to it, correct?
That's true. And also, it's important that if you know you're going to be out the next day in the heat, start hydrating then.
The day before.
Don't wait to the day of, because the fact that you're not giving your body time enough to adjust. And so your body lives off what you did yesterday. And so if you really put the water and the right foods in your body, today, tomorrow you're going to feel it. And so that's the same thing with water.
And Anita brought up, something that they already always practice at summer camp with the boys, and it's true, a visible thing that you can watch for too. The more clear your urine is,
Yes.
the more hydrated you are.
That is true. So, and you can judge that. I mean, it's kind of a grotesque way of doing it, but I mean, actually, if you're going to the bathroom, just monitor that. If your urine is pretty clear, that means that you have the right amount of water content inside your body. If it's getting darker, if it's getting real dark, then you're not drinking enough at all. And then you also want to monitor how much you're going too, because if you're not going to urinate, that means you don't have any water inside to get rid of.
Good point.
So that's important to know.
Something else to also recommend, because we do have a lot of individuals who might work in construction, or like Teresa's husband, they do work outdoors, and the agriculture community, it's often not individuals. If you're working in a group, watch out for those around you, because they work with you on a regular basis, and they'll start to see some of whether you're maybe disoriented, stumbling around a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, they don't have the energy to keep up. They're disoriented.
They start feeling a little faint. They may have a headache. They may have a little bit of blurred vision. They get really weak. They have to sit down. They just don't feel well. They may get a little nauseous or a little sick to their stomach. Some of them may even, begin to vomit. And that's showing signs of you're not doing well at all. If you start seeing signs like that, you need to get them to the shade very immediately.
What are some of the things that they could do? I mean, obviously get them into the shade and try and help them. Maybe some things they could do to cool them off. I know they say if you put ice cubes in certain areas of your body, is there certain things they can do to help try and cool them down?
Well, the best way actually that we have found is actually if you can get a fan and you can mist them, it actually cools them down faster.
Yeah.
So that's really the best way to do it. You can put ice cubes under the armpits and on the back of the neck. They do have cooling towels now too as well. You can put the cooling towel in the water and then put it on the back of your neck, and it does keep you cooler because just the way the body works with the thermogenics and everything. Dr. Galarza, do you have any?
Well, the thing is that you have to be careful with the ice.
Yes.
Don't overdo it. You can do the armpits and the neck, but that's it. Because if you actually put it in, cover a big area, the problem then is that you're cooling the skin, but not cooling the core.
Right.
Okay.
Because remember that the way our body loses heat is through the skin. So when those pores constrict, then you cannot lose more heat.
I see.
So it's important to do what Dr. Hogue said. Just put the cooling towel or the ice in the neck, and then mist them, get them wet or mist them, and put them inside of a fan. That way the heat will dissipate faster.
Exactly.
That's actually the way to cool them faster.
Those are good points, though, because a lot of people are thinking the coolest thing they can find, get it to them now, and that's not necessarily the best.
Case.
Yeah, you have
exactly.
to allow the core to get cool also, not just the skin.
And you don't want to cool down too fast.
Yes.
And so that's very important because that can be just as
detrimental.
problematic. Yeah. So that's the reason why the cooling fans and the mist actually work very well. And you can buy these things at Walmart or some of the convenience store. They're battery operated and they have misters on them. And so you squirt yourself and then you put the fan on your face. And so but actually a lot of people use them at the pool. So they're out there, so you can get them.
At what point would you recommend, if you are yourself or you're around someone who's in a distressed situation where they're suffering from heat stroke or leading up to it, at what point is it okay to administer care on site versus sending someone to the hospital?
I think by the point they're vomiting and everything, they can really go into a vicious cycle because they're actually dehydrating at that point faster, right, and losing more electrolytes. So if they're nauseous and they can still keep the water or liquids down and you can cool them down with a fan, okay, just call your doctor, maybe call for a same-day appointment at that point. But if they start vomiting and everything, it's one of those things where it's better to be safe than sorry.
I think you're right.
So go to an urgent care or to the emergency department, especially with the elderly and the kids.
Yes.
Those are the ones that go out just downhill really, really fast, and you don't know how close they are to the edge.
Right.
So you have to be extra careful with that population.
Well, only because I think our population is smaller now. That's why some of the people deem it the quieter time of the season. Now would be a good time for a lot of people who have been considering consulting with a primary care physician. Maybe they need someone for their family.
Yeah.
And both of you are with Family Medicine Center. Correct?
That's true, yes. And we're really good about having a walk-in provider as well for all of our patients that are established. And that's the reason why it's important to establish with someone, because even getting that first step in the door, you have someone that you can go to if you need it. And so therefore, if something like this happens, because it can happen in the spur of the moment, you can give a call to the clinic and just say, hey, I need to be seen today, and they can fit you right in the schedule,
fantastic.
which is great.
It is.
Yeah.
And we also have implemented a new thing, is where we have a walk-in clinic on Saturdays from 8 to 12.
Oh, good.
You don't even have to call. You can just come on in. As long as you're a patient of ours, you can come on in and we can give you the service that you need.
Awesome.
Well, great information. Thank you both so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
And, we can't stress the importance enough because it is summer. We have a lot of people at our local waterways, backyard swimming pools. CPR is very important.
Yes.
And we're doing the
CCC.
the CCCR. Is that the chest compressions at this point?
chest.
Is that what
Cardiac
they're still
compression
recommending?
only.
Yes. So you start chest compression and circulation is actually the number one, and so they try to change it. It used to be ABC, the airway,
Right.
breathing, and then circulation, but now it's like CAB. So like you want to do the chest compressions first because they actually had a better outcome with that. But airway is still important, breathing still important, but you want to also get those chest compressions in. Yes.
Yeah, and get them good chest compressions. The rhythm is good, the frequency is good, and just to touch base on that, because last summer was really tragic for our community. We lost a couple of kids. Remember to always lock your doors to your pool. Remember to always know where your kid's at. And the recommendations are to have at least 2 security measures on point for your pool. Not just only the fence. Either have a fence, have locks on your doors, or have a pool alarm. Hopefully we can avoid what happened last summer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Responsible, constant adult supervision. People have
Absolutely.
pools and they have gates, but it might be easier. They think, if I just prop it open, we're just coming and going,
Right.
then tragedy can happen in a heartbeat. It can also happen in a very small amount of water inside the home too,
That's
but
true.
that's why that supervision is very important. All right, Luli wants to know the address for the Family Medicine Center.
Yeah. So that is actually it's 2500 South Avenue. Sorry. The South 8th Avenue. I'm so sorry. It's a change from our old address. But we're on 8th Avenue, right behind the Yuma Rehabilitation Hospital. We're in the 2-story building there on the top floor.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's time for physicals. It's time to get established, either with us or other doctors in your community. I know everybody welcomes the summer in a way to slow down, but also moms, dads, kids. It's the perfect time to get established with whoever you prefer. With
That's
us.
true.
Yeah.
And this summer we're also offering free sports physicals for our kids.
Oh,
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's coming up soon. So just pay attention to the newspaper and all the ads that are coming out. So
And the radio?
and the radio, and so we'll be doing that as a free service as well. So
Fantastic.
we'll be
that's
having
great.
sign up soon, and so that would be a good way to get your kid, their physical before they actually start the sports season. So
All right.
Perfect.
Well, our guests today, Dr. Hogue and Dr. Galarza, thank you both so much for coming in.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's
We
been
really
our pleasure.
enjoyed
It's
Yes.
time to take our Lotus Day Spa and Salon selfie in the courtyard. We'll be back with Today in Yuma after the break on Z93 Outlaw Country and the FTS Automotive Facebook Live feed. Thank you so much.
Guys.
Yeah. Anita, Janice is going to come switch with you. You have a visitor.
A visitor.
Who's cat?
Oh, we do cat shirt Fridays on Fridays, so we wear cat shirts and we have headbands. Because I like cats and I make them all like cats.
It's a necessity.
Don't you have to do
I like cats. I like cats.
All right. Here we go. Oh, you okay?
Right on the
Oh.
insert.
Smile. I didn't think it was going to go.
Perfect.
That one doesn't feel yeah. That one likes to.
I will. Good to see you.
It's the bad shoulder.
Have a good day.
Good to see you.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, bye.
Hug with hugs with Facebook.
Have a good one.
Again, welcome to Yuma.
Thank you. I love it.
Well, thank you.
So comfortable.
Yeah, thank you.
And real friendly.
The chickens in our courtyard, they're thinking about getting some.
Oh, really?
Bye.
Dr. Hogue just moved into a house that's not too far, so he's taking Dr. Kit. And I told him, I said, hey, I always see you shopping in the store, and then I see you got that new house. And Darren's like, you really do follow them on social media.
Yeah.
Oh, birthdays. And our days. Got some cool national days
I haven't
today.
got him.
Go read them.
I won't.
I want you to be surprised.
Ooh. Highlight of my day. I didn't look up national days. I'm gonna go in this corner. Let's change it up a bit.
Mix it up a little bit.
What different outlook of the world?
Your eyes scare me. I'm like, gosh, what is going on over there?
I'm trying to get you guys and not get the open door, and gosh, there's so much to our job.
We're getting the breeze. Did you see Rodimus's eyes in that picture I took with her?
Yeah.
They're like,
She looks
she
scared.
looks like that fake cat in that video where
Yeah.
the guy does little segments.
She was like, she looked like she was saying, "Please stop holding me."
Yeah.
She's kind of got me.
It's the same face my little dog makes when you like lean him backwards.
They're like, oh,
She's like, "Oh,
what? I'm not made to go that way.
I don't like this.
No, she's got the fan on, both the ceiling fan and the regular oscillating fan, and she lays right on the bed where she can maximize the total comfort.
There's two places where she, did you say?
I no, I'll put, she added it with the TEST at the end.
Oh.
But I figure she's saving lives, so I'll
She's
put quarter.
saving lives, so she'll put the
She
quarter
saves
in.
more lives than I do.
No, Dr. Galarza.
Oh, I'm like, when did I save a life? Please.
No, no.
Oh,
Sorry.
you said she and pointed to me. I'm like, first of all, I didn't say the H word, and I didn't save lives.
Remember, squirrel.
I know what she was talking about. I don't know where you were.
Well, she pointed at me. Nobody was there but me.
I was pointing to the chair.
Yesterday, my dogs were clingy. I'm in my chaise lounge. The big one decides to lay on my leg. I have to take my legs off. The little one, what the heck, guys?
All right, you ready?
Love their mama. Yep. Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
We are here live on Z93 Outlaw Country, and we have Janice on the FTS Automotive Facebook live feed right now. And tomorrow is Foodylicious Friday.
Any hints? Are we getting any hints?
No, I haven't even looked yet.
Oh,
No? Okay. Well, we have a few birthdays.
You're no fun.
Live on the edge.
Today's Firehouse Subs birthday shout-outs are brought to you by the Firehouse Public Safety Foundation, saving lives through donation grants. Buy more subs, save more lives.
That's right.
All right, what birthdays do we have today?
Well, we have Gretchen Robinson celebrating her birthday today. We have Stephanie Kennedy, Luis Munoz, and a very special one we'd like to give a shout out to. He is one of our local monsters. He is the lead singer of Venkman's Ghost.
You have to say it.
Danger Dave.
There you go.
Danger Dave Susie, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. We hope it's fantastic. I know it sure is. I know your wife has already, I love it when Stephanie posts, because she's posting all of the previous year's memories from when she's wished him a happy birthday, and she's always so heartfelt. So definitely, Danger Dave, happy birthday from your monster staff.
If you have a birthday or you would like to include a special someone's birthday, just go to monstermediayuma.com. click on the Today in Yuma tab. We have the Firehouse Celebrate banner there, and you can fill that out and get it sent in.
Yes.
Now, when you're on the website, go ahead and enter the other contests. But for the birthday shout-outs, we pick a winner each week.
Yep.
One winner will be drawn at random on Monday for a free medium sub, chips, drink, and a dessert from Firehouse Subs.
Sounds good to me.
All right, now we're looking for those rad dads.
Yes, we sure are. And we've gotten quite a few entries, but we are going to be picking one winner for our Rad Dad entries starting on Monday. So all you need to do is go to monstermediayuma.com, click on the contest page, and there you will see Rad Dad. And it's a little box. There's no word limit. You can enter as many words as you like. Just tell us why your dad or that father figure in your life is rad, and who knows, you're entered to win your dad's entered to win a chance at getting some pretty awesome prizes.
That's right. We are going to be selecting letters next Monday through Friday, reading one on the show each morning.
That's right.
And each Rad Dad prize pack includes $50 from Lotus Day Spa and Salon.
Ooh.
Also, $25 gift certificate from Firehouse Subs, a $25 gift certificate or gift card from Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's right.
And a $25 Visa card from Ferguson Plumbing Supply.
That's right. And an awesome hat.
Yeah, a D-Bags hat. They did not win yesterday, but we still love them.
It was a great game, though, and I was listening to it, but Anita was probably laughing at me because as soon as you hear cheering or something, I'd switch over real quick to try and catch it because they streamed it live on Facebook, and one of the speakers in our front office is going weird, so I had to turn one of them off. So I was listening to one station on one, and then listening to the game in the background, and all the way to the very end. It went into extra innings. But
well, they're
that's
off
okay.
today. And
Yes, they need a break.
They can regroup and head on out tomorrow.
That's right.
Today is June 7th, and it's National Oklahoma Day.
All right.
They're the 46th state to be granted statehood, and it's the Panhandle State. And it's dotted in a series of granite mountain peaks, sloping sandstone ridges, rolling hills, and plains. And in 1803, the land became part of the U.S. through the Louisiana Purchase.
Awesome.
It's also National Boone Day. That's observed each year to commemorate the day that frontiersman Daniel Boone first began exploring the valleys and the forests of the present-day bluegrass state of Kentucky back in 1769. It's also, this one needs no explanation.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
National Chocolate Ice Cream Day.
I can handle that one.
And I know it's not ice cream, but I have my chocolate custard in the freezer still. It'll keep.
I don't think so.
It will.
It's been in there since.
It's frozen. It's okay.
It's
Frozen custard
It's
day.
been there
Yes.
since frozen custard day.
It doesn't have a layer of ice on top.
Are you sure?
Well,
It might have some fuzz, though.
some fuzz. No, we're okay. It's also National VCR Day, something that many of our children these days
Have no
will
idea.
never know about. The first video cassette recorder was introduced in 1956, and the home video cassette format was developed in 1970. And the birth of the VCR market success boomed in the mid-70s and continued through the 80s and the 90s. They estimate that over 10 billion videotapes remain today with our recorded memories. And they're trying to encourage people, you have multiple businesses that have popped up, they can do the conversion for you and either put them on a DVD or in a digital format like an MP4 or some type of movie there. But it's really interesting to read about the history of the VCR, well, even before the VCR as we know it. The history of the video cassette recorder follows the history of videotape recording in general, and in 1953, Dr. Norikazu Sawazaki developed a prototype helical scan videotape recorder. And Ampex introduced the quadruplex videotape professional broadcast standard format in 1956. It had a little bit of a price tag, though. It became the world's first commercially successful videotape recorder using 2-inch wide tape, but due to its high price of $50,000,
Oh, my goodness.
the Ampex VRX 1000 could be afforded only by TV networks and the largest individual stations across the country. And then in 1959, Toshiba introduced a new method of recording known as the helical scan, or helical, I'm not sure exactly, probably helical, releasing the first commercial scan videotape recorder that year. And it's just interesting to see the progression. In 1963, Philips introduced a scan recorder aimed at the business and domestic user. And Sony marketed the first 2-inch PV100. That's their first reel-to-reel VTR intended for business, medical, airline, and educational use.
That's awesome. I remember VCRs back in the day being as big as suitcases.
They were large, but they also came with a big, not $50,000, but for that time, a large price tag too.
Definitely.
And I've seen people selling them on some of the...
Some people can't get rid of them now.
No, they can't. But a lot of people are donating the VHS tapes to thrift stores and organizations. And I know Sherry from Bob and Sherry has mentioned that her oldest daughter really loves vintage type things. So she's wanting to watch these old VHS tapes, and she had to dig out a VCR for her to do so.
Well, it's funny. I remember growing up, my Nana and my Tata in the closet, we would just go and we would pick. They had every single Disney movie on cassette. And now it's funny because my Nana has tried to replicate it and get the Disney in the DVD, which it's nowhere near the collection that she had before.
No,
but
it's not. But
I remember, it took up a lot of space.
It's important that we still preserve those memories so we have access to them.
Definitely.
So I love that it is more affordable now to get a lot of them transferred over because we have a lot of VHS still needing to be done that way.
Yeah, definitely.
And it is cheaper now.
Those are ones we don't want to lose. Those are memories that will last literally forever on those VHS tapes.
Don't forget, you can also text to win a 4-pack of Diamondback tickets to Saturday, the June 16th game versus the Mets, 7:10 p.m. Tickets valued at $176, if my math is right. Just text the keyword DBACKS, DBACKS, to 928-343-0993. And you can see that on our website, too. We have all the details. But get those entries in. You do have to be at least 18. For complete rules, visit monstermediayuma.com.
Tomorrow's Catcher Friday.
Yes, it is. Get your selfies with your pets ready to go, or just any stock pet photo in order to enter. You can even start sending those now if you'd like. Text them to that same number, or you can just message them to us on Facebook. It's Today in Yuma on Z93. Coming up next, it's Bob and Sherry, Outlaw Country. Next, it's your favorite classic country music. And we will see everyone tomorrow. KCYK Yuma and KLJZ Yuma.
All right. See you tomorrow, guys.
Wow. Our ups is walking.
Yeah, we hear it.